cousins, welcome back to Angela's Southern Comfort Dishes and Seasonings. Today I'll be making my southern pork roast, making pork roast barbecue sandwiches. Alright, let's get started. Here we have our fresh, clean pork roast. We're going to place it over into our Dutch oven, or whichever is first. You're using your cooking pan. Alright, make sure your hands are nice and clean. Alright, first thing we're going to do here, so we're going to take some pure vegetable oil, olive oil, whatever you may want to use. Just pour enough, probably about 2 tablespoons full into a clean bowl. Okay. Please make sure it's 2 tablespoons, nothing more. Awesome. All right. So now that we've got that out the way, it's time for us to apply our oil all over our pork roast. This helps to seal in our seasonings once we begin to apply our seasonings all over our pork roast. All right, and you want to make sure you put oil in every nook and cranny all over our pork roast, or many of you may know it as a Boston butt. All right, be sure to coat that baby all over as you go along in your seasoning. All right, want to first start by adding our first season of black pepper, ground black pepper. All right, we'll also be using some sea salt. You know I love some onion powder. We'll also be using our garlic powder. And whatever secret flavored dry barbecue rub that you like to use, we'll be adding that as well. Now, when we come to the sea salt, we just want to use a pinch, less than a teaspoon. We don't want to do too much. All right, you'll be fine because it goes a long way. Okay, next let's start off by adding our garlic powder, not salt, garlic powder. I love garlic powder. I love fresh garlic cloves. It gives your meats, your cooking dishes such a beautiful flavor. Just pulls it right on out. All right, also we have some rosemary, which is going to add about a teaspoon of rosemary onto our pork roast. All right, it's going to give it a good flavor. You don't need much because it's very strong. All you need is about a little teaspoon, or less than a teaspoon, okay? That's all you really need. All right. Next, what we want to do is add our onion powder to our pork roast. Now, in this video, I will be using some Honeycrisp apples, and I have about 2 Honeycrisp apples that I've washed and dried off very good with paper towels and sliced them very thinly. Next, we have our favorite dry barbecue rub that we're going to apply onto our meat. Now here I don't have any chicken broth in stock in the home, so what I did is just use 2 cups of fresh cold water. Okay, it's all right if you don't have chicken stock, just use some clean cold water, 2 cups. And like I said, you want to apply this vegetable oil thoroughly all over your meat as you go seasoning. Just apply the seasonings all over, just as you see me doing it. All right. This is very simple and easy. It's going to be a good old juicy pork roast. Very tasty, very tender. All right. Okay. So next here, I'm going to add my rosemary to my meat. I've already applied my black pepper. Next up, I'm going to add a little bit of sea salt. All right, doesn't take much, just a little sea salt. All right, I'm very, I have to go very light on the sea salt or any kind of salt because, I do suffer with high blood pressure, and I do have a loved one in the home that has a heart condition with congestive heart failure. So we go very lightly when we're using anything that contains sodium. And we try not to use anything with sodium. Again, I'm using my favorite dry rub barbecue seasonings as well. All right. Next, we're going to apply our onion powder. We're going to repeat the same process all over the meat. Again, the vegetable oil helps to lock in the seasonings, okay? You see how they're sticking to the meat? Because you're putting your vegetable oil on first, all right? Make sure you get all over. You want to season everywhere on that meat. Apply that vegetable oil first, and all you need is 2 tablespoons. If you don't want to use vegetable oil, it's all right. Use olive oil. You can use grapeseed oil. You can use avocado oil. I cook with avocado oil. I also use olive oil. But today on the meat, we're using pure vegetable oil. All right. And like I said, you want to season it thoroughly all over, everywhere you go. All right. Make sure we don't forget that rosemary, everybody. We got to get it in. A little pinch of salt. Okay. Got to salt everywhere you season. All right. Cool bean. Don't forget our dry barbecue rub. All right, cousins. Honey, we came to eat. We didn't come to play with y'all for the one time, okay? Hope everybody's doing good. I miss you guys. All right. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and put that vegetable oil all over that big old baby right there, honey. All right. So next up, you know what we're about to do. We're just going to go ahead and season this on up. All right. Very good. All right. So now let's go ahead and apply our seasonings just as we've done all over. Start off with our ground black pepper. Got to make sure you season your meat. You don't want your meats to be bland. Okay, you want to make sure you season it very, very good all over. All right, next up is our garlic powder we're going to apply to the meat. Like I said, if you have some fresh garlic cloves, honey, go ahead. Put about 3 cloves over in there, honey, in that pot, honey. And, honey, let me tell you, you're going to have some of the best tasting meat. All right, if you don't have no garlic cloves, it's all right. Hit you up with some garlic powder, not garlic salt. All right, now we've added our rosemary, so now we're adding our onion powder. So we've added our garlic powder, we've added our rosemary. Now the onion powder was just applied. Now you want to heat it with a little bit of sea salt, okay? Got to make sure you salt it, and you see how I'm going. All right, last thing we want to apply is our favorite dry barbecue rub. And the one that I'm using gives it such a great flavor. It tastes so doggone good. So good. All right. So now I have 1 large yellow onion thinly sliced. And so what I want to do is put my onions all around each size of my Dutch oven pot that I'm using here. And this is a 7-quart Dutch pot made by Aisha Curry. So I'm placing onions all around inside my pot where the broth will be cooking in the meat will cook in the water. Like I said, I don't have any chicken broth. It's okay. Get you 2 full cups of cold water. Now, once you apply your onion all around in the pot to season this meat as it cooks, you're also going to place some onion on top of the meat. All right. You want to make sure we got flavor everywhere throughout this meat, honey. On top, on the sides, on both ends. Honey, listen. Just go ahead and season the meat. Cousin Angie got you. All right. So next, what we want to do is go ahead and add our honey crisp apple. Honey, this meat gonna be tasting so good, honey. Great flavor. Just gives it great flavor to the meat. That's all it does. Again, you want to apply the apples around the meat just as we did our large yellow thin sliced onion. Just place it all around the meat. And then once you've placed your honey crisp apples all around the meat, you're going to apply them on top. All right, as well. Just as we did our onion. All right. Now listen, I've got my oven already preheated. It's set on 350 degrees, baby. And I let my bad baby, I let him cook, honey, or her cook, whatever you want to call it. Honey, I put that pork roast on over in that oven, honey, and I let that pork roast ride for about 2.5 to 3 hours. All right? That's the way Angie does it. I put it in there for 2.5 to 3 hours. All right? Cool beans. So this honey crisp apple is going to give it an amazing flavor to your meat as well with those onions that it's cooking in. Trust the process. Cousin Angie won't steer you wrong, honey. Listen, you all always know when I'm using that favorite foil, that Reynolds Wrap heavy duty non-stick foil is what we're going to be using to cover our meat. I don't use anything less. It's got to be the Reynolds Wrap non-stick heavy foil. All right, that's how we do it. I'm not going down to the Dollar Tree or nobody else's tree. I'm using the Reynolds Wrap. All right, heavy duty non-stick foil. You tell Reynolds cousin Angie sent you to the store to go get her, okay? All right, now you heard it from me. I ain't the one to gossip. All right, cool. Now, next up, and be sure to add you a little bit of meat tenderizer alongside of your cooking Dutch oven pot or your cooking pan, whichever first you may be using. Don't forget to sprinkle a little on top of your meat as well. All right, cool beans. And this meat tenderizer I'm using, I only use McCormick seasonings, so that's who I'm using today. That's who I've always used. Now again, as I mentioned, I don't have any chicken stock, so it's 2 full cups of cold water, fresh cold water. And so I'm just going to pour this along the sides in my Dutch oven for my meat to cook in. All right. It's all right if you don't have any chicken stock, honey. You use what you have. It's all right. All right. It's all going to cook the same. So cool beans, here we go, honey. She about to go in this oven. And I'll be honest with you, she going to cook for about 2.5 hours. 2.5 to 3 hours. I like my meat to be nice and tender. And that bone just come out floating in the water. That's what Cousin Angie like, honey. Again, here's my friend Reynolds Wrap Heavy Duty Nonstick. Go ahead and tell them Cousin Angie sent you. Going down to the Walmart, the Kroger's, the Winn-Dixie, the Publix. I don't know, wherever you shopping at. Safeway, Giant, wherever you may be. You going down there and get them, honey. All right, cool beans. I'm going to tell you a little trick to the trade, too. Once we wrap our meat up with the foil nice and tight, we're going to take us a sharp knife, and we're going to make us a few slits on top of our foil to let that aroma just come through and steam. Honey, house going to be smelling so daggone good. Tell them Cousin Angie gave you a little trick in the sleeve, okay? All right. So now that we have it all snugly tight, ready to go, I've taken the rack in the oven, not the bottom rack, but the top rack, and I've moved it down to the middle setting. I'll take a sharp paring knife, just make you a few slits along the foil, so as the meat is cooking and release the steam, honey, let me tell you, your house gonna be smelling so daggone good. Tell them Cousin Angie gave that little trick in the sleeve, all right? Put the knife in the sink. All right, now that our meat is done, it's out of the oven, honey. I let it cook for like 3 hours straight, okay? It was actually 2 hours and 45 minutes. All right, so now we're going to use 2 forks to pull our meat apart. I've transferred it into a cooking pan, foil pan, 9x13. And so what we want to do here is just use 2 forks to just pull it apart. That's it, okay? And I didn't wait till the meat cooled down. I immediately start pulling it apart as soon as I brought it out the oven, okay? There we go, honey. We're going to have some big pieces. Use that fork to get in there and pull it apart. Now listen, you can wash your hands and put on some fresh gloves, and you can pull it apart as well. Now that we got all our meat shredded and pulled apart, honey, we have our favorite barbecue sauce. You use whatever you like to use. I got my own favorite, okay? Listen, I got my coleslaw on the side over here. Got my hamburger buns ready to go. Now listen, a treat to the barbecue sauce is take you some Heinz apple cider vinegar. I ain't told you about nobody else. I told you to go over there and get Heinz apple cider vinegar. Trick to the trade, put 2 cupfuls of vinegar in your favorite barbecue sauce. Trust the process. Only 2 cupfuls of that apple cider vinegar goes in there. It goes a long way, honey. Next, you go around the corner, honey, and get you some light brown sugar. Listen to what Cousin Angie trying to tell you. Shh, sit down, pull out a chair, have a seat. Honey, class in session. Go on over there, honey, and get it rolling. You want a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. Then nobody told you about the cup. I ain't told you none of that there. I said a 1/2 cup. All right, I know what I'm trying to tell you. I don't try to told you. I don't try to told you. All right, you're going to use a spoon, a whisk, a fork, whatever you want. Be sure to get those lumps out of that barbecue sauce. Like that, out of that light brown sugar, honey. Excuse me. Cousin Angie trying to school the children for the one time, honey. Like I said, use only 2 cupfuls of the Heinz apple cider vinegar. Honey, gonna put that little ting back there in the back of your throat. This barbecue sauce about to be off the rockers, all right? Go ahead and use that spoon. Make sure you get every little lump you feel out of that light brown sugar, honey. Let me tell you, by the time you get this thing all mashed up and them getting them lumps out of light brown sugar, honey, go ahead and bring your little taste on that barbecue sauce. I don't try to told you. I don't try to told you. And then what the little kid said, I don't try to told you. Cousin Angie just coming over here to try to give you a little school for the one time. All right, honey, we about to have us some chip pork barbecue sandwiches with a little bit of coleslaw, honey. And let me tell you, it's about to set it off. This is a perfect meal any day, any weekend. It's summertime. You don't feel like slaving over that stove. Honey, you go ahead and do this right here. Cousin Angie got you, okay? You don't just have to serve it on a holiday, honey. Pork roast is good anytime, especially when you want a chip pork barbecue sandwich. This is it. This is the way Grandmama and Mom and Auntie them brought it, except I put my own little twist on it. They didn't do it the way I'm doing it, though, but, you know, they would slice it, and when it got done, child ain't got time for that. Grandma would also, you know, pull it apart, shred it with her hands, and get in there. Or use a fork, as I've just done, and pull it apart. But see, they didn't do the necessary steps that I'm doing. They just poured the barbecue sauce on in there. They never added the light brown sugar. They never added the 2 cupfuls of apple cider vinegar. This is just my little trick I'm giving you. So come back and tell Cousin Angie what you thought about the barbecue sauce. All right. When selecting a barbecue sauce, get you a barbecue sauce that has a honey flavor to it. You'll love it. You'll love it once you add this 1/2 cup of brown sugar and your 2 cupfuls of your apple cider vinegar. Now what you see me doing here is making sure I'm getting all the lumps out of the light brown sugar. I don't put light brown sugar in the refrigerator because it tends to get real hard. So what I do is fold up all the air out of the bag and put it in a Ziploc bag, and I put it in my pantry, okay? You don't want to put it in the refrigerator. It will get really hard. All right, so Cousin Angie just making sure we're good to go. Now that we got our lumps out, honey, it's time for us to get ready to eat, honey. Come on, let's pour this barbecue sauce all over this meat, honey. Ooh, wee for the one time. Come on, somebody. Child, what we talking about? Look at that daggone barbecue sauce. That's what Cousin Angie tried to tell the children. I tried to tell the children. The children won't listen, Jesus. Listen, got this good old-fashioned coleslaw with it. Child, what we talking about? We about to eat today. Yes, Lord. Like I said, I remember Grandma and Mama them making it. They never did it my way. But, honey, let me tell you, this right here, I ain't come to play with you, honey. This right here gonna set it off for the one time. Go ahead, it's good to be served with some corn on the cob. Honey, you can get your few pickles on the side, a few chips, like some Pringles or whatever your favorite chips are. Honey, you can make you some crinkle cut french fries. Honey, you can have you some roasted potatoes. You can have some potatoes and onion. Child, whatever you're gonna eat it with. Just come back and tell Cousin Angie what you thought about it. But listen, like I said, when selecting a barbecue sauce, be sure to get you a good old barbecue sauce that has honey in it, because the way you do this barbecue sauce is going to make one hell of a difference, honey. It's going to bring it all together, bring it all out, honey. Yes, Lord. Make sure you mix well, because we want to make sure we have enough barbecue sauce all the way throughout this entire pan, covering every nook and cranny of our pork roast. Don't go throwing that money away. Get all that barbecue sauce out that bowl. I ain't playing with you. I'm about to come through this camera and knock you on the head if you ain't get all that daggone barbecue sauce. I need you to get all that there. All that there. All that there. I need all my barbecue sauce. Go ahead. Don't y'all be throwing the barbecue sauce away. Ooh wee. Now listen, for those of you who don't want to add your barbecue sauce and mix it throughout the meat, that's fine. You can add your pork roast or your Boston butt, as you may know it. You can add your meat to your sandwich and then drizzle your barbecue sauce on top of it. That's great as well. So it's just your discretion. I love to do this because as you're eating, that barbecue sauce is giving a great taste throughout that meat, and especially after dinner when you clean your kitchen, honey, and you put the food up, child, and you go back and warm me up some next time you want a barbecue sandwich. Child, it hits just right, all right? This barbecue sauce is hitting just right. Come on, Cousin Angie, get the barbecue sauce out of the bowl, sugar. Come on, I don't try to told the kids, honey. Ain't that what the little kids said? I don't try to told your mama? Well, whatever. I know it don't sound well, but that's what the little kids said. Yes, Lord, I'm going around the corner getting everything I got in that bowl. Look at all that. Told you, get your money out of there, baby. The money can't go down in the garbage compactor. Somebody gonna have to give me my money back. All right. All right. We got all our barbecue sauce even around the corner. Amen. Amen. Cool. We gotta go get Cousin Becky one more time. All right. We got her. Then Becky learned. We got all her and her cousins. Cool. Let's get to mixing. All right. We're gonna mix this thing on up so we can go ahead and eat for the one time. Ooh, we try to smell so good. I ain't even come to play with y'all. This thing smells so good. We about to take it in, honey. Look at that. Make sure you're thoroughly mixing your meat. You want to make sure everything is covered. Barbecue sauce is on every angle of every piece of strand of meat we got here. All right. Smells so good, Jesus. Tastes good, too. Wow, look at that. Make sure you stir completely. We want to make sure we have barbecue sauces everywhere. All right. Okay, we just about there, cousins. I just got to make sure I got everything mixed well, incorporated well with that barbecue sauce. Come on, somebody. We about to eat today. You going to learn today. Don't play with Cousin Angie. I'm just saying, for the one time, don't come playing with me when it come down to the food. I'm trying to help the cousins. Getting ready for the party. Somebody said the 4th of July was coming. Baby, here it is right here, right time. Get them folks some chip pork barbecue. There you go. They'll thank you later. They'll come back asking you who did it. Tell them Cousin Angie helps you out. Okay? Send them over to my house. It's fine. Go ahead. Please like, share, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up on this video. Please let me know what you think of it. Please share this video. Share my page. Spread the word. Honey, I appreciate each and every one of you. All right? I think we're just about done here with this meat, mixing it up. All right? So next, what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to build our sandwiches. Our pulled pork barbecue sandwiches. Our southern pulled pork barbecue sandwich. Just to check one more time to make sure I got everybody and their grandma at the bowl. You know, you try to mess with grandma. I had to get all my money for auntie and them. All right, it's good. Now we're going to put this over to the side. Remember, anything that you touched, remember to go back and wash it thoroughly with plain hot water, soapy hot water. Use Dawn Platinum 4X dish detergent, honey. Kills everything, all the germs. All right, meat looks good, doesn't it? All right, cool. So next, we're going to take our little tongs. We're going to build our sandwich, all right? We're going to start. Now, listen, one thing Cousin Angie wanted to do was toast her bread, but, honey, I was hungry. I had to get it on here for the one time, okay? So what we're going to do is go ahead and take our tongs, and we're going to begin to build these sandwiches up, honey, all right? The first thing we want to do, like I said, I was in a rush. I'm hungry, child. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and add our barbecue to the bun. Come on, somebody. Oh, Jesus, help us with the barbecue on the bun. I ain't trying to play with y'all. All right, honey, getting us a little barbecue. Yep, that is it. That's how we doing it over here at the Davis's home. All right. Next, we're going to go ahead and add that good old sweet southern, Jesus have mercy, coleslaw. We're going to add it right there on top of the barbecue. Yep, I can because it's my business and I did it. Yep. And we're going to do it to every sandwich we have, honey. Let me tell you, when you munch into this sandwich, Jesus have mercy. Just don't move from the table. I sit right at the table because my stomach going to roll down the hill. And when it come back, I'm going to wash my hands and go back and get another sandwich. Amen? All right, cool beans. That's how we doing it. Smells so good. Looks so good. Y'all get it in there. Get it in there. Y'all see that there? As my Uncle Charles said, y'all see that there? Child, help somebody else. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up. Please share my video. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Cousin Angie loves you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.